Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Tucson 118 here with me. And as usual, we're going to analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But first of all, let's just do a quick size comparison. This is up against a ZT0470. This is your large Sebenza 21. Here you have Benchmade 940-1. And this is PM2 from Spyderco and PM3 from Spyderco. So you can see, it's a pretty EDCable size. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, this is an original design from Tucson. This is made in China. As you can see, these lines are straight. This is like a nice straight line. You have the inlay over here, which also has straight lines. You have these milled out grooves, like parallel going like into an arrow configuration, both sides. You have a nice touch of color, I think, given from this copper inlay, which is nice. Otherwise it would be just an overall gray knife, but I appreciate this little touch of color with this nice milled titanium inlays to give a little bit more contrast, right here and right here. So yeah, good choice. These inlays they have another function because they also serve as a lock bar stabilizer. As you can see, lock bar here as a piece underneath, which due to the nature of this inlay, will prevent you from overextending the lock bar. So pretty nice. You have, some jimping over here. It's pretty subtle, I would say. It's not like sharp or anything, but it's good. There's a little bit of finger groove over here, not like really like to handle the knife, mostly like to release the lock bar. It's like a cut, a relief cut. So interesting choice. They also milled out this area here to better allocate your thumb right there. So really nice. The lock bar has an insert which is hidden. It's on the inside, so it's a very clever design. So it's covered from by the inlay over here, and you have to remove the inlay in order to unscrew the lock face insert, which is completely hidden. Usually, you're able to see it from this side. In this case, you can't. This guy's, has a pretty simple construction. It's using T8. There's just a couple of screws. So you just unscrew the pivot, unscrew this guy, and boom, it blades opens up. You have also, of course, another screw right below the pocket clip over here. So overall, pretty straightforward disassembly. The screws are T8 and protruding a little bit just for the pivot. See, a little bit domed. This is pretty much flush with the scale, so nice. The pivot is not keyed in, it's not captive, so it's gonna rotate during disassembly, but you're not gonna have any issues at all, as there's no like red Loctite in it. The pocket clip is nice. It's milled out titanium. It has a nice design, nice springy action. There's a nice clip ramp, and yeah, it's ambidextrous. You can unscrew. You have to disassemble the knife because the screw it's on the inside. It's a hidden screw, and then you can reinstall the clip on the other side. So if you're a lefty, yeah, you're good to go. You also have a nice milled titanium backspacer, with these nice grooves, milled out on the outside, and yeah, it's a nice addition. It's very well made. It follows the contours of the handle, and as you can see, blade is like perfectly centered. So very, very nice over here. Blade is a S90V steel, so pretty premium steel going on. You have a nice finish. The flat here is satting in this direction, and the primary bevel is just satting like in another direction. So it has just an angle, which creates a little bit more contrast in this blade, which is relatively thick. I mean, it's not the thickest, but it's not like a super slicer, but it's going to be good. You have a a nice flat grind. This is kind of like a reverse tanto, but you only have like it's just a full belly edge profile over here. You've got a nice sharpening choil, so you're gonna be good to go with during your sharpening tasks. There's no finger choil. The plunge grind over here reveals how thick behind the edge this guy is, and you can see, it's all right. It's pretty decent. It's not the thinnest, but it's a pretty good. It's a pretty well designed blade. So appreciate that. Edge symmetry is pretty spot on, I have to say. There's not like this edge over here. It's pretty evenly done. So yeah, good. And also the grinding on the blade, it's quite symmetric. You have this fuller here, which can also be like, it cannot be like a nail nick. You can't just like jam your nick in here. So it's just going to be like an aesthetic thing going on. And yeah, you have like a nice jimping. It's nice. It's subtle. It's not like 100% functional, but it's just gonna give you like a tactile feedback to let you know where your thumb is. So it's good. There's no thumb ramp over here, but the spine, it's nicely crowned. I really appreciate when they put this extra effort over here to have this less sharp, let's say. Something that I'm not a fan of is the billboarding going on over here in the front, in the back. I don't understand, but yeah, I get it to a point. So you have this nice thumb relief over here to disengage the lock bar, and underneath that, if you can see, it reveals that there's a ceramic detent ball. And also, if you look on the inside, you're gonna see that the scales have been skeletonized. So they milled out some materials from the inside to save some weight. So that's a pretty nice thing. Let's hear some noises, because this is a pretty decent noise and sound. This is when you open the knife. So it's not loud. It's not like resounding or anything, but it's it's sweet. It's pretty good sound. I actually like it. It's not something you're gonna write home about, but yeah, it's pretty good. Also, I don't know if you can notice, but as the blade runs and deploys out, you have this whoosh, this whirring noise. And that's due to the bearing just gliding, inside over here, just rubbing up against the scale. So yeah, it's a nice whipping sound. Also, when you close the knife, you're gonna have this pretty nice clink over here. It's a nice, it's pretty nice. It's it's a little clink thud. Yeah, it's not sharp, it's not loud, it's not piercing, but it's very interesting. So yeah, overall it's a pleasant sound to listen. This knife is it's quite light, and it feels alright in the handle. You have basically no hot spots. If the clip is bothering you, you can remove it. You can put it on the other side. But overall, it's it's a stick. It's pretty rectangular in shape, so not really any sharp edges when you're squeezing the handle. The grip is okay. I mean, it's pretty thin, so you're not gonna have too much stuff to hang on to, but it's okay. I mean, you have a pretty good grip. If you do reverse grip, it's all right. You have this, triangular shape here, which you can just allocate your thumb like that in order to get more grip. And yeah, it's good. It feels solid, actually, I have to say. There's no blade play in any direction. It's solidly built. So only thing is that the texture is a little bit on the smooth side, so it might get slippery if you have wet hands or something like that under the rain. So it can be a little bit slippery. They added these mill grooves probably to increase traction on the handle. The construction is pretty all right, I would say, for the price. Guys, this is what, $150 knife. So you see there's no really gaps. You have a little bit of a lip over here, but I mean, it's minuscule. So fit and finish is pretty good on this one. You have, yeah, also the clip is pretty well designed, as you can see, nice ramp, it's gonna be there, it's quite thin, so it's springy. So overall, yeah, it's a good design. But what it's really nice about this guy, it's the action, because when you open this one, it's pretty fast. You have a small flipper tab. It might, if you do like push button like this, yeah, you can, but after a while you're gonna have some finger sore kind of thing, because this tip, it's a little bit pointy, so you're gonna be more inclined to do like a light switch like that, and this is gonna deploy like a boss. It's gonna whip out pretty fast, so, and smooth, because this guy is running on plastic caged bearings, and they're doing a great job. I mean, look at this. This is a pretty good flip in action, considering the price this guy is selling for. The detent strength, it's also good. You have no rattling as you shake the knife, and the tip is pretty nicely recessed. Even if it's like almost parallel to this one, it's not going to be dangerous to rub your finger over here. And also, like when you close the blade, you have to release over here the lock bar, which is pretty good. The tension is dialed in. There's no lock stick. There's also like a nice detent ball ramp. So when the detent ball hits the tang, like here, it just rises up a little bit onto this ramp without having a step, like a hard step up against the blade tang. So it's a pretty smooth feeling, and you have like, it's gonna fall shut like this. It's gonna fall drop shut, sorry, as soon as you release the lock bar, and then it's just gonna glide into the closed position. So pretty good guillotine effect over here. If you're a fan of that, you're gonna truly appreciate this action over here. Look at this. You just don't need to wiggle, because as soon as it's there, you just you rotate the handle, and it just, as soon as the ball is on the detent ball ramp, like here, you can rotate, and you see, it just by gravity is going to get attracted to the closed position, because that's the nature of the guillotine effect. So if you're a fan, you're going to love this action over here. You also have some nice detent suction effect, sorry. Like over here, you see the blade just gets sucked in by the detent ball ramp, like up to this height, and that's a nice thing. It translates into good quality, good build quality. So there you have it. This was my review of the Tucson 118. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.